So hi Baking 101, happy Monday night. And although Black History Month is over, we are still going to highlight someone tonight, and you probably already know who this is. This is Miss Harriet Tubman, and today is Harriet Tubman Day. So in honor of her, we are going to have her be a part of our class tonight. And if you don't know, Harriet Tubman led the slaves through the Underground Railroad to freedom. So Harriet is going to join class with us for tonight. All right, awesome. So we are going to do simple piping techniques for tonight. So you should already have your mise en place ready along with your cupcakes or your small cakes, whichever one you elected to do. I did see both from you all, so hopefully all of that is ready. So I've got my mise en place ready here. We'll go over the supplies and then we'll get going. So you should have your American buttercream. So I've got mine here. Your piping bag or pastry bags. Your Wilton 1M tip. Okay, your Wilton 1M tip. Scissors. I'm just making out some scissors. Your silicone spatula, parchment paper, your baking sheets, which I have all of my stuff on mine, your decorative plates, leave that here, toothpicks, your disposable spoons or spoons you don't mind getting tinted, your color gels. I brought the rainbow on my color gels, and your cupcakes or small cakes. So I defrosted my cupcakes that we made a couple weeks ago, and then I also have a small cake as well, but it's kind of buried, so I won't have to pull it up. And then if you have your small cake as opposed to cupcakes, or in addition to, you're going to need your offset spatula. That's that one that is folded a little bit or slanted. And sprinkles were also optional. I've got some sprinkle this mixes, sprinkles there, and then gloves. Okay, so let's get started. Let me have a ready in the chat if you all are ready with your supplies. Hello, Alexis Diva. Welcome to class. Okay, so working with American buttercream, we did touch up on a little bit on it before, and there are a few different types of buttercreams that you can make. I chose to do the American buttercream with you all because it's the simplest to do. But there is a Swiss meringue buttercream. That one is a little bit more detailed when you make it because you have to use eggs. And it's just as good, but the American buttercream has the better flavor in my opinion, and it's more pliable to work with when you're decorating. There's also a ganache where you can make your frostings with chocolate, and then there's also a cream cheese buttercream. So one tip that I want to give you all, since now you know how to make your American buttercream, is if you want to make a cream cheese buttercream, it's just a really quick fix. So all you do is take your recipe that you used for your American buttercream, you take the exact same recipe, and then all you have to do is add some whipped cream cheese or regular cream cheese. I prefer to use whipped because it's a lot lighter, it's more fluffy, and it's not as dense as a regular like block of cream cheese, but either will do. This canister here is 8 ounces, so the recommendation that I would give based upon the creaminess and the flavor that you would like for cream cheese is to go, like I said, this is 8 ounces, you can go up to 12. Anything beyond 12 might be a little bit tangy, but that's, again, the great part of scratch baking. You're gonna experiment and do what you feel you like, what's your preference on your buttercream. Okay, so that's a tip for you. Take your American buttercream recipe and add some cream cheese to it, and that just makes your cream cheese buttercream. Very simple. Another tip I want to give you for your American buttercream is flavor. And this is another one that's super, super easy. So you've already got the base for that recipe. And so if you want to add some flavor to it, all you're going to do is add some extract. Okay, this is lemon, but you can do any flavor. There's almond extract, there's strawberry. There are a lot of extracts on the market. I definitely suggest that you use, something that's quality so that it tastes natural, because it is natural and not something synthetic. But that's your personal choice. Sneeze. Oh, excuse me. So with the extract, again, with this recipe that you have, again, I have a lemon. All you need to do is start with a tablespoon of your extract and then taste it from there. Use your tasting spoon, and if you feel like you need to up the flavor a little bit more, then you want to add in increments of a teaspoon at a time. Okay, so start with the tablespoon first, and then build on that in teaspoons. And excuse me 1 second here. I need that. That was not in my reach. Okay. I can't reach the paper towels yet.
You need it?
Yeah, I need those two right now. Okay, so tips to transform your buttercream. So your first tip was to do cream cheese buttercream. Second tip was to add some flavoring. Okay. All right, so let's get to the fun part. Or let me see, I'm looking at my notes really quick. Okay, so tips for consistency. We kind of dealt with that when we made the buttercream. Somehow I had like 2 cups on our recipe, and definitely for the butter that I use, that was a little too much. So as I put in your email, I went ahead and updated the syllabus for the butter to be 1 cup instead of 2. And once you make that recipe, remember I gave you hints. So if your buttercream was too runny, then you were to add more sugar, and then that would make it more stable. If your buttercream was too thick, then you were to add a little more heavy cream, and that would thin it out. And what the purpose of that is you want to have a buttercream that's really solid, but it's still soft to where it's gonna move. So if I just take some of my buttercream right here as an example, you can see how the peaks will stand up. So when you made your buttercream, if it was like flopping over, you needed more sugar. And if this is like too firm to where you can feel that it'll have too much tension in your piping bag or on your spatula, then you would add the heavy cream to thin it out. Okay, so that was the tip for that. Tonight we're going to be tinting our buttercream, so hopefully you've got some cool colors out there. I can't wait to see when you turn your homework in what colors you use. Again, for me tonight, I kind of brought the rainbow, so I'll play around with some stuff and give you guys some tips when it comes to like the color wheel, okay? But if you have 1 color, that's perfectly fine. That's how we're gonna start, but we're gonna play around with color. And if you just have the 1M tip, that's also perfectly fine. But I did bring some more tips to show you more designs that you can do as well. But the Wilton 1M tip is the most popular tip. It's the most widely used. It's a little star, and you can do many, many things with it. Okay, so right now, wash your hands if you haven't already. Turn on your sink, and then we're gonna fill our piping bags, okay? And we don't have a stopper. Stopper now. All right, my sink is going. And I already washed my hands. Okay, so I'm gonna move some of my stuff out of the way. Samaria is ready. Okay, so if you are ready, let's go ahead and we're gonna fill our piping bag, but I only want you to do a small amount because we're gonna do a bunch of things tonight. So don't fill the bag all the way. Just do a small amount. So this is your piping bag. Just probably fill a little less than half of the bag. Okay, just about that amount. All right, so open up your bag. Get your 1M tip. Put that in there. Remember how to cut the bag so that the tip doesn't fall all the way through, but it's also going to be enough to where the full design on the tip is beyond the bag, okay? That way you get the full design on your bag. Okay? Oh, my sink is not filling up. Okay, so go ahead and fill your bag about, like I said, about a quarter of the way, between half and a quarter, because we're gonna do a bunch of different things. Okay, squeeze that in. Okay, you should be good to go. So twist your bag. If you have a twist tie, you can close your bag with that. I brought some reusable twist ties. You can get this in the cake decorating section. And it comes in like a bag of like, I don't know, 10 or 12. And these you can wash them, you can use them over and over. And it's like a little rubber band. So you can use a twist tie. If you want to invest in these little guys, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just twist your bag and fold it over like that, and you're good to go. Okay. Next, you're going to set up your baking sheet. So get your baking sheet and put some parchment paper on top of your baking sheet. I have wax paper on mine, so I'm going to swap that out. All right. I feel like I did that one. So I'm going to change this to parchment paper. Okay. Is everyone ready? All right, so I've got my baking sheet with my parchment paper, got my bag ready to go. All right, so we also did on our cupcake, when we did decoration, I taught you guys how to do a star, and we made the little cluster of stars, which is like a hydrangea. So I want you to go ahead and do a couple lines on your parchment paper to practice that star. And then we'll elevate from there. So I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. Okay, can you see my tray? I think we can see the tray. All right, so with your bag, again, make sure you twist it. And on your, on the hand that's holding the bag, you wanna make sure that you hold it firm, because that's the one that you're gonna use to push the buttercream through the tip, okay? And the hand that you're not holding the bag with, you're going to use as your guide. So sometimes, you know, you pipe straight up and down, sometimes you're at an angle, and this hand is going to help you when you're getting that done. What is the difference between wax paper and parchment paper? I don't remember. So the difference between wax paper and parchment paper is the way that you bake with them. Wax paper is opaque, is very thin. You can, you know, like see through it. The parchment paper is more of a thick consistency. It's white and you can't really see through. So when you bake, you always want to use parchment paper in the oven, okay? If you put wax paper in the oven, it'll burn. It will turn the smell of what you have, what you're baking on, and whatever you're putting on top of that will also stick to it. Wax paper is more so used outside of the oven when you want to separate your goods. So just here's a perfect example on my tray. I've got some paper on here when you want to separate things, like say something like this would stick. So you would put the paper in between and you can do it like that. And so wax paper you're typically utilizing outside of the oven. For tonight, it's not gonna make a huge difference, but I prefer, you're welcome, I prefer that you use parchment paper. That way your designs aren't sliding as much because the wax paper is more slippery. But if you've got wax paper tonight, that's perfectly fine too. So let's go ahead and paper is more slippery. But if you've got wax paper tonight, that's perfectly fine too. So let's go ahead and fine too. So let's go ahead and pipe. Okay, let's pipe a couple of rows of our star. If you have both, use the parchment paper. Okay, and remember your bag is going to be straight up and down, a 90-degree angle. Put pressure, making that star. Let me take it like a cleaner. There. Okay. Thank you for the roses. So just do a nice firm push. And your tip is not touching the sheet, not touching the paper. You want to hover a little bit over that and push. Do like a firm push, okay? And then you'll get a star just like this. Hopefully you can see my tray really good. Okay, so just do a couple of rows of that to practice the way that you're handling the bag. Okay, so it should be nice and firm, straight up and down, and you're not touching the parchment paper, you're not touching the sheet. Okay? So this is like the beginning of a swirl, or this is kind of like a raised star. Hi, Anna, thanks for the roses. Okay, so do yours look like that? I hope so. Okay, once you get that done, leave it on there, and we're gonna do another 2 rows, and now I'm gonna teach you what a true star looks like. Okay, so watch me first, and then I'll have you do it. I'm gonna clean off my tip a little bit so that's nice and clean. Okay, so when you're doing just like a traditional star, now you're going to directly touch the sheet, okay? So you're still holding your bag straight up and down. You're gonna directly touch the sheet and put pressure and then lift. Okay, mine came out a little bit funky. I'll do a couple of more. So when you do that, it's more of just a star by itself, if you can see that. And my paper is coming up. Okay, can we see the difference in those? So now I'm actually touching the paper. Okay, can we see the difference in the stars? So go ahead and try yours out. Remember, keep your bag straight up and down. It looks like I have to clean my tip off a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my tray around so we can do one more row. Okay, so straight up and down, put some firm pressure, push a little bit for that buttercream to come out the bag and lift it up. And my paper just doesn't want to stick, so mine are looking a little bit funky, but you should definitely be able to tell the difference between the two. So the first one, we were not touching the paper. The second one, we are. Okay? So hopefully you can see the difference on that. Babe, can we turn the air back on? I'm dying over here. Okay. All right, so yours should look like this. So we have a traditional star here, where we've put the tip directly onto the paper, gave a firm press, and then lifted it up so you can see more the dynamic, the dimension in the star. And on the first one that you guys already learned, this one we did not touch the tip to the paper, and that one gave us more of like a bloom, okay? So I hope yours look like that. And I do remember most of you with your homeworks did an excellent job, so you guys are on the right track. All right, so that's how we're looking like that on our stars. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and erase this. So use your spatula. I'm gonna get a smaller one. Use your spatula to clean this buttercream off and put it back. Don't throw it away. And then we're gonna do some more. Just gonna get a different little. Here. I just need a smaller one. My shoe came off. All right, so we are gonna erase and go again. Okay, so now you all know how to do two different versions of a star. Okay, so next up we are going to do a swirl. And if you've got your stars mastered, the swirls will be really easy as well. I don't know what happened to my comments, all disappeared. Okay, so now we are going to do some swirls. Okay, so I've got my piping bag. Okay, so now to make a swirl, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your piping bag, you're gonna leave it straight up and down again. Let me see if I can zoom. No, can't. Oh yeah, I can zoom. Okay. So you're gonna leave it straight up and down. Okay, you're gonna start from the outside. You're gonna go clockwise, make a circle, and then build on top of that circle twice, and then dot the center and pull up. Okay, I'll show you that again. Are you able to check the comment thing? Okay. All right, so we're basically at the base. You're gonna start with a circle. So build clockwise, a circle, go on top of that twice. That's once, twice, and then push into the center. Okay? I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little more and do that again for you. Okay, so making a circle, building on it twice, 1, 2, and then to the center, pull up. Okay, go ahead and try that. I'll keep doing a few more. Build in the circle, 2 layers, layer 1, layer 2, stop in the center and kind of like pull it up really quick. Okay, so I've got 4 on here, so let's do 8 of those. Okay, 1, 2, pulling up from the center. Okay, 1, 2, pulling up. 2, pulling up. Pulling up. Okay? Try and zoom this back out. Extreme close up there. Okay. All right, so now here's your classic swirl. Okay, it looks really pretty from the side and from the top. I'm gonna hold on to my paper so I don't lose that. Okay, so remember the method for the classic swirl. You're gonna start at the parchment paper, go ahead and make a clockwise circle, build up 2 layers, and then when you get to the center, just pull it straight up, and then that's gonna give you a classic swirl, okay? Does everyone's swirls look like that? Awesome. Okay. All right, so if you got your classic swirl, go ahead and erase. So take your same buttercream, put it back, and then we'll move on to the next one. And I actually have to fill my bag. My bag is just about empty. So if you've got to fill your bag, then go ahead and do that as well. Boom. And mine smells so good. It smells like sugar. All right. If you need to replace your parchment paper with another one, you can do that too. I'm just kind of smoothing mine like that. And all of the comments have disappeared. I don't know how to fix that. Let's see. Can you see it on your end?
It says, go to settings and go to comment settings.
We're back. Woo woo. Awesome. I don't know myself. It's back. Yay. I don't know. I guess I must have turned it off somehow. We're back. Okay. So I'm going to fill up my bag really quick. All right. So we had a kind of like a big star. We had a classic star. We just did a classic swirl. I'm pretty confident that you all are rock stars out there, even though I can't see what's going on yet. Good evening, Classy Sassy. All right. Okay. Kind of put a lot in there, but you really don't need that much because we're just like practicing. The more buttercream that you have in your bag, the harder it's going to be to do your designs. So now that you're learning this way, as you go, you can, you know, fill your bags a little bit more. But in the beginning, like I said, just fill it about a quarter of the way, and then that will give you more control when you're working on it. All right, so let's do, think really quick. Okay, so now we're going to do a rosette, okay? So with the rosette, zoom in. Okay, so with the rosette, it's basically a rose, okay? And so what you're gonna do is now you're gonna go counterclockwise, keeping your back straight up and down, and you're only building on one layer, okay? So watch me first. So you're gonna start in the center. Now I'm going counterclockwise, just one layer, and then I'm gonna pull it a little bit at the end. Mine looks a little wonky on the end. And that's how you're gonna make a rosette. So I'm gonna do this a few times. You can see that. Okay, it looks like a rose. All right, so back straight up and down, start at the center. Go clockwise, one layer, and then once you come back around, you can pull it off. Start at the center, clockwise, one layer, pull it off on the end. My buttercream doesn't want to work right tonight. Start at the center, clockwise, and then pull it on the end. Okay? So that's how you're going to do your rosette. So now go ahead and give it a try. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do another row. I made it back. Where'd you go? All right. So in the center, go clockwise. Pull it on the end. See, my buttercream just wants to stick. I probably need to put a little more heavy cream in it, but we're here now. All right. Okay, is everyone achieving a rosette? How do you prevent air pockets in your piping bag? So when you're stuffing your piping bag, you want to open it up all the way, okay, as wide as you can. When it's time for me to fill my bag, I'll demonstrate that again. So you're going to want to open up your bag as far as you can open it and do like a really solid stuff with your buttercream, and that'll prevent the air pockets. And once you practice it a few times, you'll get a lot better with that. And then if there is an air pocket in there, you just push it through and keep going. So you shouldn't have too much, okay? Oh, you got kicked out of the live. The tip we're using is a Wilton 1M. My rosettes are flat. Okay, so maybe bring your hand up a little bit further from the sheet. You might just have a heavy hand, so just don't go as low. So try that again, bringing your hand up a little bit more. Okay, so from the center, counterclockwise, in a circle, close it off. Okay, and like I said, mine are coming out a little bit funky. I can tell my buttercream needs a little more heavy cream for this. Okay, so now we've got rosettes. All right, so do yours look like that? I hope so. Okay, let me just adjust this again. Yellow. All right, so do about 8. That way you can get some good spacing, and then once you get your 8, go ahead and clear them out, and then we'll do this one again because this one is a little bit more difficult. So once you pipe your 8, clear your board, and then do another 8. Can you show again? Absolutely. We're going to do it one more time. Oh, I know what it is because it's the fan. Because I have the fan right here. It's like drying the buttercream a little bit. It's all right. Okay, I've got a clean slate. We're going again. Clean off my tip here. Okay, so back straight up and down. Start in the center, go counterclockwise to make a circle. Close it in. Yeah, see, my buttercream is getting dry. Yeah, when I'm trying to end mine, it's getting a little bit funky. That one's better. Okay, so in the center, counterclockwise, around. In the center, counterclockwise. Can we see that? What dog is that? What dog? That ain't no dog. That's family. That's the neighbor's dog. Okay. All right, so demonstrated that again. Put some hearts in the chat if you've got your rosettes, okay? If you've got your rosettes, go ahead and clean your slate and we'll move on to the next one. If you don't, go ahead and give it another try. Put some hearts in the chat if you've got your rosettes down and like the live, okay? We're at 11,000. We need to get to 100,000 before we go. Ooh, purple hearts. You guys know that's my favorite color. Hi, Katrina. I'm convinced I'm using the wrong tip. Okay. It's a Wilton 1M. The star like this. My favorites, mine too. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and do one more row. Like I said, this one is a little more difficult, but it's easy once you get it. Okay, so we'll try that again. Let me zoom in on my sheet. What was the first one called? A star. All right, so starting in the center, going counterclockwise, just one level, and finish it off. And mine is sticking because there's a fan blowing on me, is drying it out, but
No.
nope. All right. One more. Boom. Okay. So now you know how to make a rosette. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. Okay. So now that you've got your rosettes down, go ahead and clear your canvas here. If you are ready to go, put some hearts in the chat and like the live. Okay, so next, just super easy. I'm just gonna show you how to do just like a little squiggle. Super easy. Okay, so you're gonna take your piping bag and instead of straight up and down, you're gonna go at a 90-degree angle and you're gonna do a zigzag, but just don't pull too soon. Kind of go slowly with your zigzag, okay? If you pull too soon, it's not gonna look so much like a zigzag, if that makes sense. Okay, so your piping bag is gonna be at an angle. Watch me first, and then you're gonna do it. So you're gonna do a zigzag like left to right, just like that. Okay, and this is really popular when you're gonna do a border, if you want to have like a swivel design on your cupcakes. Okay, look how easy that was. I'll do it one more time and then I want you all to do it, and then I've got to refill my bag again. So just going left to right and pulling slowly. Don't pull it apart too quickly, and that's going to give you a zigzag. Oh. Got it? Okay, so you all go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna fill my bag again. Got it. Texas Divas got it. If you've got it and you're ready to go ahead and tap that screen. I'm gonna fill my bag again. And I can definitely feel like this is getting firm. Okay, so I'm gonna show you one more design and then we're gonna move on to decorating. So I think I've given you like, I don't know, 5 or 6 simple piping techniques, and you can do it all with just this one tip. Okay, so Your squiggle line is really, really simple. Maybe I'll just do that one again, and then I'll move on to the last one. Okay, so that squiggle line, that zigzag, one more time. Bag is on an angle, not straight up and down. You're going left to right. Oops, see now my bag is too thick. Going left to right to get your squiggle. And my buttercream is now drying out, I can tell. Can you see that? Yeah, I can barely push it through the bag. Look at that bulge. All right. Okay, so there's my swivel. You can see that. Okay, go ahead and clear that off if you tried that again. And then last but not least, we're going to do a little, I don't know what this is called, but this is another one that you can use for a border. And actually my buttercream is like so firm. Okay. Hopefully this bag doesn't burst. It might. I kind of feel like it might. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm just gonna pause for a second. I'm not gonna pause the screen, but I want to fix my buttercream because it's a little too thick. What do we do when it's too thick? Add some heavy cream to thin it out. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Cause yeah, look, it doesn't even want to come out it doesn't even want to come out the bag. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this. Quick way to get your buttercream out of your bag. Go to that tip and cut it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna push that into my bowl. And what's happening is I have a fan blowing on me, and so because American buttercream is what's called a crusting buttercream, it's trying to dry with the air. But that's okay. We're gonna put some heavy cream in here to thin it out. And then that's got a little plastic on there. Just gonna take that out. My doggy is not happy tonight, is it? Okay, so I'm gonna thin out my buttercream. If you guys have any questions at this point, go ahead and put some questions in the chat. If not, double tap and like the live. And then I'm just gonna thin this out really quick and move on to the next one. I didn't bring out this is like a teaspoon. We'll use that. Does anyone have any questions up until this point? All right, this one just got so thick. No questions. Okay. We are straightforward here. Yeah, see now it's getting a lot smoother. I would say just a little bit more. Stopping by to show some Professor Phrase. We appreciate you. Oh, hi Takia, thank you so much. Gonna put a little more buttercream in here to thin it out. That's a teaspoon. So I'm just doing a teaspoon at a time so it doesn't get too thin, because then we won't be able to make our design. And then remember, if it is thin, then you add more powdered sugar to thicken it up. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, so someone asked me earlier about avoiding air pockets. So you can take your bag, invert it, and put your hand in there. You want to go as far as you can. I'm going to put my tip in there. Do a little cut through the tip first. Okay, so invert it as far as you can. Open the cavity there. And then fill it from there. And you just want to, kind of press that in there like that. That way you're not getting any air pockets. Okay? That's the best way to avoid getting the air in the bag. Any more questions? Or think you all are ready? We are good to go. Get my last little bit over here. I'm going to keep my same sheet. A little twist tie. And I'm going to push some out just to make sure. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. All right, so last design that I'm going to show you all. So on the last one, we did a little zigzag for a border. This border, we're going to do a swirl. Okay. So watch me first. Let me get a little closer. Okay, so you're gonna stay at an angle, not straight up and down. You're gonna stay at an angle, and then all you're gonna do is make a circle. So you're gonna make a full circle and then pull as you go. But again, don't pull too fast. Otherwise, your design will be too spread apart. So just watch me first. Bag is at an angle, and you're just going to do a circle. Okay? Can you see how I'm doing that? Okay? Don't pull too far or too fast. Okay? And now you've got a pretty circle design for your border. So again, you want to do a cake border. You've got the zigzag. Now you've got the circles. I'll demonstrate it one more time and then you all go ahead and try it. So Bag is at an angle, and you're just gonna do kind of like circles in the air, essentially. So you're not touching the sheet all the way, okay? See that? Now you all go ahead and try that. I'm gonna zoom out and do some more. Okay, so go ahead and do your circle borders or your circle line, but this is for a border when you do your cake. So just simply like making a circle in the air, pulling the bag and pushing the top to get it out. Okay. Demonstrate that one more time. All right, so yours should look like that. So now you've got a nice, pretty border. So you've got circles, you've got squiggles. All right. So now, go ahead and clear your board. I just got too much going on here. Okay, go ahead and clear your board, and then we're gonna do one design of everything, like one example of each thing that we learned. I'm just clearing my board off. Okay, so first up, we're going to do the star, the defined star that I taught you today. So bag straight up and down, tip to the paper, push and pull it up. There's your defined star. Next, we're gonna do a raised star, so don't touch the paper, bag straight up and down. There's our raised star. Next, we're gonna do the classic swirl. So we're gonna make a circle, build 2 layers on it, and pull up. Okay, what did I show you after that? Oh, rosette. So you're gonna start in the center, go clockwise, 1 layer all around. Rosette. Next, you're gonna do a zigzag border, bag at an angle, going left to right. Zigzag. And last but not least, your circle border. And again, bag at an angle, kind of like imaginary circles in the air. You're not touching the sheet. Boom. Okay? So now your sheet should look like this. Okay? This is your homework. All right, so star, a defined star, more of a raised star, your classic swirl, your rosette, your zigzag border, and your circle border, okay? So when you're done with class, I want you to pipe this on your sheet and take a picture of it and send it to me. That's part 1 of your homework. If you want to do it now, if you're confident in what it looks like, you can go ahead and take the picture now and get it out of the way. If not, you can do it when class is over. Okay, so I need to fill my bag again, and no, actually, no, I'm not gonna fill my bag. So now we're going to tint our buttercream. So whatever colors you brought out, we are going to tint that. So I'm actually going to empty my bag. And I just realized I didn't put a bowl on your material list. So grab a bowl that you're comfortable with getting a tint on it. And we're gonna do some tinting. So grab your color, grab your toothpick, and grab your spoons. Okay. So I'm gonna move my baking sheet out of the way for right now. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little bowl. Okay, so just put about 2 tablespoons of buttercream in your bowl, just a small amount, just like that, just about 2 tablespoons. Okay, grab your color. I'm gonna use purple, of course. Put some gloves on. I forgot to grab the gloves. Okay, and then grab a toothpick, but do not put the color just yet. And then I'm gonna need a spoon. Okay, so let's solve that puzzle real quick. There we go. Okay, perfect. So when you're tinting your buttercream, there's a whole world of colors that you can achieve. And if you want more on the lighter end, more like in the pastel family, you're gonna use less of your color gel. If you want a deeper, more rich color, then you're gonna use more of your color gel, okay? I brought some Wilton's color gel. You can use AmeriColor on your, on the Amazon Hillman Talk materials list. I think I put different ones for you on there. There's AmeriColor, there's the Sugar Art, here's Wilton, and you can do gel or liquid. So I'm gonna take my toothpick, okay, and then I'm just gonna I'm gonna mix it up, and then I'm just gonna grab a small amount. Okay, I'm actually gonna take some of that off of there. Okay, these gels are very concentrated. Okay, it looks like there's not a lot on there, but trust me, that is a lot, okay? So all I'm gonna do, and I'm actually gonna take some more off of here. Okay, so all I'm gonna do now with my toothpick, I've got a little bit of color on here. I don't have a toothpick. Is there anything else I can use? Yeah, you can use a spoon. If you got your tasting spoons, just open it up all the way and just do a really quick dip. Or if you have some, spoons at home that you don't mind if it gets tinted, then use that, okay? All right, so with that, I'm just gonna swirl that on there like that. And you see how that pretty much looks like it's nothing? Okay, now I'm gonna mix it up. Okay, so that pretty much looks like there's nothing on there. But then once you mix it, you'll see that there's a lot more than what you thought there was. And I even feel like this could definitely be lighter, and that was just like a tiny, tiny bit. And look at the difference. I forget how purple doesn't show up the best on film, but you guys can definitely get the gist that that color changed. Okay, you see that? I put a really, really tiny amount. So you just want to mix and incorporate it. And then that, you're starting at like the pastel level, okay? And so the more color gel that you use, the deeper your gel is gonna go, okay? So I'm going to put this aside, okay? And then I'm just gonna do I'm gonna demonstrate the different levels your gel will get you to. So for right now, I just want you to watch. If you've gone ahead and done this step and you have your color in a pastel, that's fine. Just stop there. So that's my first example. So we're gonna do it again. Just me, not you, just me. Okay. And so now, if you can tell, I have a lot more on my toothpick this time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take it off on there. Trash can's a bit far away. Okay, and then I'm gonna mix that up, and you can see that color change, and it's a lot deeper than the first one. And I will show you the difference in just a second. I can definitely see it. Put some hearts in the chat if you can tell the difference already. If you did not bring, if you opted not to tint, like bring a color for tinting, that's okay. You can still just watch, and then you can practice. You can also practice your piping techniques too. Okay, so we see that. Can we see the difference? So this one is more pastel, so the more gel you use, it's gonna go, you know, even deeper. So I'm just gonna do one more level, and then you all can start your tinting. So think about if you wanna have a lighter color, if you wanna be more on a pastel side, or if you wanna have a deeper, more rich color. Okay, so now look at that. Like I'm gonna use a very generous amount. Okay, see the difference on that? Very generous amount in here. Go ahead and mix that up. And then remember, when it comes to tinting, it's just like when we're putting our recipes, when we're putting our batters together, you can always add, you can't take away, right? So you want to do, you know, just like a little bit of gel at a time so that you don't go beyond the desired color that you're trying to achieve. However, if you do go beyond the desired color that you want to achieve and it's too dark, then you're going to take your untinted buttercream, like just your white, and then you'll add to it to lighten it back up. Okay? So level 2, level 3. So let me just put this on the sheet. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so I just showed you 3 levels with one color. Okay, the first one, really pastel, barely any gel on my toothpick. Second one, I added a little bit more. And the third one, a little bit more than that. Okay, and so that's how you get the levels. We also would call that ombre. If you're gonna do a design with your treats, then this is how you get the ombre effect. Same color, just less condensed on the gel as you go, okay? So if you start here, if you start at really pastel and you're trying to achieve a deeper color, then in this batch, you would just add a tiny bit more of your gel to get to here. And same with this. If you're here and you want to go really deep, same thing. You're here, add a little more color, and it's going to get you there. Okay, now going the opposite way, if you're here, if you're super deep and you didn't want to go that far, You really need it to go here. All you have to do is take your white, untinted buttercream white and add to it, and then it'll get you back there, and so on, okay? So go ahead and tint your buttercream. You decide how, pastel or how deep you want to go with your color. Okay, that's going to be your personal choice. And after you tint your buttercream, then we're going to start decorating. So you can decide how much you want to tint. I just have so much going on right here. I have no space. Okay, so you decide how far you want to go. So I am going to grab some more. Okay. Once you get your buttercream tinted to the level that you want, go ahead and fill a new piping bag. I'm adding some heavy cream because my buttercream got too thick right here. Oh, time is going really fast tonight. Just need a little more. How's everyone doing? How's your tinting coming out? Do you have your tinting done and you're filling your bag? Are we ready to go? Ready to move on to the next steps? Okay, so I've pretty much got this back to the consistency that I need it to be. So I'm gonna go ahead, mixing color, blue. Okay, Alexis Diva has blue. Can't wait to see your blue. I'm just gonna take a little bit out of here. Okay. All right. We're gonna go medium with the purple. I'm gonna use this spoon. I know it's a lot stronger. Two colors, pink and purple. Okay, awesome. Can't wait to see that one. Okay, and I wanted to play around with the colors to try to show you guys how to build on colors, but I don't think I have enough time for that. So maybe that's something we can do after class is officially over if you guys are interested in doing that. But basically what I was gonna do is just show you just some things you can pull from the color wheel. So say if you have a yellow color and you have a blue, when you mix yellow and blue together, it makes green. So if you purchase a yellow and purchase a blue, you can achieve different tints of yellow, different tints of blue, and then put the two together and you can do different tints of green. Same goes for red and blue. So if you were to put red together and blue together, you get purple. Your daughter picked pastel orange. Oh, so cute. She helped make the buttercream. Good job. I can't wait to see your cupcakes. You guys, I remember your homework. You guys had a big variety of techniques on your cupcakes. I remember that. So I can't wait to see what you come with. Okay, so I'm like mid-level with my purple. I'm gonna go ahead, fill my piping bag, and let's decorate. If you've got your color, your buttercream colored in your bag and you're ready to go ahead and grab your cupcakes or grab your small cake. Have those ready. Okay, so now that you know how to do a defined star, how to do a raised star, you know how to do a classic swirl, you know how to do a rosette, you know how to do a zigzag border, and you know how to do a circle border. So using your own creativity, go ahead. I would say let's just take 4. If you're doing cupcakes, take 4 cupcakes and do a different design on each one. And see how it turns out for you. Okay, I've got my bag. Isn't that pretty? I've got my bag filled. All right, so here are my cupcakes. I froze cupcakes from our cupcake class. So I am going to do a classic swirl. Okay, so I'm starting from the center. I'm gonna go around, build twice, and come up. Okay, I'm gonna do that again. Go for the center, come around, build twice, and go up. Okay, so I've got classic swirl. Trying to make purple, but my buttercream is a weird gray. Okay, if it's gray, that means you need more color gel. So put a little bit more color, and you'll see it start getting to purple. Okay, so I've got a classic swirl, and then I'm gonna do a rosette. So I'm starting from the center. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. Finish it off in the center. Counterclockwise. Finish it off. Okay? And I said do 4, right? If you want to do more, you can. If they didn't come out the way that you like, then you can scrape them off and try again. Okay? So I've got a classic swirl and I've got a rosette. Okay? So if you want to go further than that, go ahead. If you're happy with what you have, that's the second part of your homework, is to take a picture of your cupcakes. Okay, if you have a cake, let me just show you that really quick. I'm running out of space here. Let me show you how to decorate your cake. I just put way too much soap here. Brought my turntable. If you have one, great. If not, it's okay. have a non-skid mat so my cake doesn't move, and the cake board. I have a nice little heart. So just go ahead and put your cake on your cake board or on your cake plate. If your cake has a dome, go ahead, you can take a knife and just cut off the top of the dome. And right now we're not looking for perfection. Typically in this step, you would use a cake leveler. But we're just making these for ourselves, so it's okay. So if you have a dome, just go ahead and take your serrated knife and cut off the dome so that your cake is flat. Okay. And then you're gonna wanna put a little bit of buttercream onto your board underneath the cake so that way it doesn't slide around. And then I'm just gonna smooth that out a little bit like that. Okay, press that down. Now my cake is not gonna move. Okay. Just using one layer. Obviously when you make a cake, you build it 2 layers, but we're just gonna use 1 layer for right now. So just using that 1 layer, just go ahead and take some of your buttercream. And basically what we're gonna do is just cover the cake first. So just put a good amount of buttercream on your cake, no particular method. Take your offset spatula and smooth that down. And so basically what you're doing is what we call crumb coating, and you're getting just like 1 layer of buttercream onto your cake so that any crumbs, any like loose crumbs that are in the cake will, what do you call it? Will seal. Will seal and not move for when you want to do a design. Okay? So just do that on the top of your cake. If you want to do the sides, you can, but for right now, you're just doing the top. Okay, so just getting that 1 layer there, smoothing it all the way in. And then that way, if there were any crumbs that would move around, now they're not gonna go anywhere because you have this first layer of protection. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure that it's smooth. Okay, and you've got it covered just like that. Now, take your buttercream and let's do some rosettes, okay? So if you have a circle or if you have a square, there's 2 things you can do. You can go left to right from edge to edge if you have a square. So you're gonna put your rosettes left to right, edge to edge. If you have a circle, start on the outside, not the inside. Start on the outside border with your rosettes and go to the center. So I have a heart shape, but I'm just gonna pretend like it's a circle. So I'm gonna do the border outside and then come into the center. Okay, so remember straight up and down with your rosettes. And that's how you would decorate your cake, okay? And then to build on the cake, like if you have 2 layers, then you would just basically put down the first layer, fill it with a layer of buttercream to smooth it out, and then put your second layer on top. And then you would do that crumb coat that I showed you, and then your design. Okay, but you're always gonna wanna start at the border. And hopefully I have enough buttercream in here. I think I do. Okay. If you have your cupcakes all decorated, do your plate presentation, put your cupcakes on a plate, make them all pretty, take a picture. That's the second part of your homework, okay? If you've got your cake, do just like I did, start on the borders and work your way to the center, okay? And there's mine. I'm gonna hold it so it doesn't slip, okay? And there's mine. Yours should look like that. So if you have a circle or if you have a square, we did rosettes, and that's how they look. Look at that beautiful purple, okay? And then now from here, you can just, get creative, experiment, and build on these skills. So what could we do with this? We could do, ombre, okay? Now you know how to make your buttercream ombre. Now you know how to decorate your cake or decorate your cupcakes. So have some fun with it and do ombre. That'll be really cool. So if you have cupcakes, you can do like one cupcake in your pastel, one cupcake in your medium tone, one cupcake in your deep tone. And when you present them, make sure it's in that order, okay? Don't switch the order like this, okay? Because see, then that's off. So keep it in that order. So let's just say you were doing a dozen cupcakes, right? You had a row of cupcakes, you're gonna go pastel, and then it gets deeper and deeper as you go along, okay? Same thing with your cake. If you wanna try an ombre with your cake, again, you're always gonna wanna start with the border and come to the inside. So you can do that ombre effect, and you can do it either way. You can start with your lighter color and build it to the center going deeper, or the other way around. You can start with the deeper color and build it to the center, going to the lighter to the pastel. You can also do it up and down, right? So you can start at the top, do light to dark, or dark to light, okay? And vice versa. All right, so homework for tonight, your parchment sheet, flat sheet with all of the techniques that we tried. So your star, your raised star, your classic swirl, your rosette, your zigzag border, your circle border, okay? That's the first part of homework. Second part of homework is your decorated cake. So whether that be your small cake or your cupcakes, and make sure you have your pretty plate presentation on there. Okay, do we have any questions? Oh, if you had sprinkles, I brought some sprinkles. I don't know if I had an open pack already. Here's my cake. So no bread. I think we're doing banana bread next week. Tonight was decorating basics. We're on week 5. I didn't see who was asking that question. All right, so I'm gonna finish off my cupcakes. Well, this is what I have left in here, so let's just see. We'll do another rosette. Maybe I can get one more out of here. Any questions, let me know. And then if you brought sprinkles, this is the point where you would put your sprinkles on. About 5 minutes. I also was going to show you guys some fondant. If you want to see that after class, you can do that. All right, so I've got a nice spring mix. We are in spring now. And you guys know I make sprinkles, so this is my spring mix. I'll attach it to your homework if you're interested. This is in the Etsy shop. And now we've got another layer to our decoration that elevates. What does it say? Okay, thank you because I don't like banana. Okay. Fondant, yes please. Okay, so I'll show you something really simple on that. Okay, so I've got sprinkles on my cupcakes. Putting some sprinkles on the cake, and that just takes your design to another level. Okay, so look at that pretty spring mix in there. This is a custom mix. All right, so I'll get that on my plate. Got my variety here. I need one more, but I ran out of my buttercream. Maybe we can pretend. Pretend like that one has something on it. Can I make chocolate bread instead? If you want to make chocolate bread and you feel confident, as a scratch baker, go ahead, but I'm going to be doing banana bread, and the recipe for chocolate would be completely different. So that's up to you. All right. Okay, so there are my cupcakes. That's my presentation. Okay, I kind of faked the one in the back. I only have a little bit of buttercream left. Okay, and then here's my cake. I'm not gonna pick up that. And there's my cake. Purple is beautiful, right? I love the purple. Okay, so again, homework for tonight. You're gonna do your example on your parchment paper. I wanna see the defined star, raised star, classic swirl, rosette, zigzag border, swirl border, okay? And then for your decoration, whether you did cupcake or cake or both, that's what I wanna see, okay? Your discretion on what method, what piping technique you want to use for your cupcake. I would prefer that you do the rosettes for your cake, but if you wanted to do a different one, stars or something, that's fine on that too, okay? And make sure you do your pretty plate presentation. Those look really good, Professor. Thank you. I can't wait to see yours too, Miss Lucy. All right, we've got 1 minute. Any questions? And then, of course, you will see my email for next week. We're going to be doing, oh no, just kidding. I'm looking at my paper right here. So next week, we're going to be doing monster brownies with whipped cream. So I think we've got one more week for bread, whoever asked about the bread earlier. So you'll see my email this week. I will be updating the syllabus with the recipes for the monster brownies and the whipped cream. And it's also the week of St. Patty's Day. So if you want to have fun or if you celebrate, then you can use use a green tint for next week. I still haven't gotten an email. Sophia, you're on my roster. For sure you're on my roster. Check your spam, because I've been emailing you for sure. Or Ayana, if you're here on the mod, if you can check the sheet really quick for her, but I'm like 99% sure she's on there and I've been sending an email. You're welcome, Lexus Diva. I still come to class. Yes, come participate. Are you sending me your homework? Let me know. If you come to class, you're making the treats, then you should be taking a picture and emailing it to me, and then I'll like respond back to your email. All right, 7:30.